I was single for 30 years, and I just finally found a beautiful girl. Before I could even hold her hand, I was transported to ancient times and became a famine refugee. But while the other refugees were so hungry they were chewing on tree bark, I was at home, secretly eating big meat buns. Turns out, I discovered I could earn a mountain of gold just by digging up roots. Pure, natural bracken root detected. Valued at 6 copper coins per jin. What's going on? A system? A cheat code? Following the system's directions, I went to the base of the wall and started digging. It took a lot of effort, but I finally unearthed a small pile of bracken roots. Just then, the system's voice chimed in again. Half a jin of pure, natural bracken root detected. Value: 3 copper coins. Do you wish to sell? Yes. Is that even a question? The moment I said it, the bracken roots in my hand vanished. And the translucent virtual interface turned into a marketplace. In the top right corner, it even showed my balance. 3 copper coins. It's that easy? This is as good as picking up money off the ground. I can get rich just by digging up roots. I quickly browsed the marketplace with my mind. It had everything. System, let me make a withdrawal. It actually worked. Just as I was getting excited, my stomach started to growl. Is there anything cheap on here? Vegetable buns, 1 copper coin each. I'll take you. I bought 3 without a second thought. The moment I took my first bite of the bun, I almost cried. In my past life, I was so used to eating takeout. But I never knew a simple vegetable bun could be this incredible. It's so delicious. That evening, my family came home from digging for roots and tree bark. The original owner of this body had lost both his parents. He only had his 2 older brothers and 2 younger sisters to rely on. The few roots I dug this afternoon won't be enough to trade for much. The real problem is, how am I supposed to explain to them where this food came from? This is such a headache. I could only try to escape by going to sleep. In the middle of the night, a heart-wrenching cry suddenly pierced the silence outside. Thief! Help! Thief! All our grain has been stolen. Oh, heavens! This is a death sentence for us. Hearing the commotion outside, my whole family went out to see. We saw our neighbor, Lee slumped on the ground, crying, his voice raw. Watching the chaotic scene unfold, my eyelids started to twitch. This whole scene with the neighbor's grain being stolen. Why does it feel so familiar? Isn't this just like that novel I read right before I got transported here? In the book, after the drought, the Chin family suffers a series of disasters, both natural and man-made, and in the end, not a single one of them survives. At that thought, a cold sweat broke out on my back. Now that I'm in this world, I have to find a way to survive. I have to save my brothers and sisters. I don't know who stole the grain. The book never said. The next day, at the crack of dawn, my siblings and I all got up. Let's split up to look for food. Don't go too far. If we get separated, everyone head back home before sunset, I said to the others. Then, I turned down a small path by myself. I hadn't gone far when a familiar voice sounded in my ear. Wild saffron milk caps found. 20 copper coins per jin. Soon spotted a few clusters of yellow saffron milk caps under an old pine tree. Half a jin of saffron milk caps is worth 10 copper coins. Do you wish to sell? Yes. The saffron milk caps in my hand vanished, and 10 copper coins appeared in my system balance. Just then, I heard the sound of branches being hit up ahead. Someone must have found a fruit tree. I immediately quickened my pace and hurried over. The system's voice sounded. Pure, natural chestnuts found. 3 copper coins per jin. As I got closer, I saw Da Ya was holding a long stick, trying her best to reach the chestnut burrs on the tree, while Ya was squatting nearby, picking them up. There were 7 other villagers picking them up nearby. This was a great find. If we can get 30 to 50 jin of these, our family of 5 can survive for more than half a month. This is life-saving food. Da Ya, you go pick up the chestnuts. I'll do the knocking. Seeing that I had arrived, the villagers started working even faster. After a while, Da Ya's and Ya's baskets were more than half full. Da Ya, Ya, leave your baskets here and come with me over there. I pointed to 2 nearby trees that another family had claimed. Third brother, don't worry about them. Things in the mountains don't belong to anyone. We're just gathering based on our own efforts. What's there to be afraid of? Lu Dongmai, who was busy knocking a tree, immediately intervened. She jabbed her bamboo pole into the ground. Third son of the Chin family. He claimed this tree first. Go find somewhere else to gather. Did your family plant this tree? Or did you post a notice on it? It's a wild tree with wild fruit. Finders keepers. If you want to stop us, you'll have to ask the hoe in my hand first. Da ya, ya. Ignore her and just keep gathering. Lu Dongmai was stunned and subconsciously took 2 steps back. The original owner of this body was usually very timid, but my stance today intimidated her. She didn't dare to argue anymore. We quickly finished gathering the chestnuts. We headed home happily. On the way, my second brother, Qin Qingsheng, started daydreaming out loud. On our way here, I saw Da Zhuang and his group carrying a wild chicken they caught. When will we ever get that lucky? Hearing that, I suddenly slapped my forehead. Of course, I can buy a wild chicken from the system and secretly leave it by the side of the road. Then they can stumble upon it. That should work. I opened the system and spent 30 coins on a wild chicken, which I deliberately injured. I quietly tucked it into the bushes by the road. There's a chicken squawking. Ya's hearing was sharp. She stared at the bushes on the side. The eyes of everyone in the Qin family lit up. The whole family was starving. And as thin as beanpoles. Second brother, you and I will circle around from the sides. Da ya, ya. You two approach from the front. The 4 of us tiptoed and surrounded the spot. There, nestled in the grass, was a chicken with an injured leg. Qin Qingsheng lunged forward in a flash. And caught it. No wonder it wasn't moving much. It's injured. We definitely won't be able to keep it alive. He had killed it. Qin Qingsheng felt the pheasant's broken wing. So he simply twisted off the other wing and tossed it into the basket on his back. Wow, we're having chicken today. I haven't tasted meat in so long. Just look at the kids. They're practically drooling. It's obvious they're malnourished. If I hadn't been transmigrated here, I'm afraid these kids wouldn't have survived for much longer. When we got home, my eldest sister-in-law prepared the pheasant. She saved the meat for dinner. For lunch, we would have stir-fried giblets. I didn't stay idle either. I had my eldest and second brothers go chop firewood in the backyard. The more, the better. What are you having us chop so much firewood for? Enough to fill the whole backyard? Big brother, just trust me, this firewood will be extremely important for our whole family in the future. Hearing this, Qin Daming and Qin Qingsheng didn't waste any words and went straight to chopping wood. It was written in the book. In another 2 months, a drought and a plague of locusts will arrive at the same time. And in the winter, there will be blizzards. The heavy snows will block off the mountain. We'll never survive without firewood. I have to prepare ahead of time. After sending my family members away, I went back to my room, opened the system, and bought 20 jin of millet. Afterward, I gave the millet to my eldest sister-in-law. Eldest sister-in-law, we have 20 jin of millet in the house now. Cook 2 jin for every meal. 2 jin a meal is too much. 1 jin is enough. We can chop up more wild vegetables to feed the whole family. If we cook 2 jin each time, it'll all be gone in 10 days. My eldest sister-in-law looked completely confused. We'd run out of grain a long time ago. Could our parents-in-law have saved it? But if we eat like this, we'll eat through everything we have. I know what I'm doing. I'll cook lunch today. Ever since I married into this family, I've never seen my younger brother-in-law cook before. Will it even be edible? Under the doubtful gaze of my eldest sister-in-law, Wang Xiangling, I went into the kitchen. I took the chicken giblets and the ferns, and mixed them with wild onions in the pot. Dinner's ready. The family was sitting properly at the table. I ladled out a bowl of millet porridge so thick you could stand a chopstick up in it. I handed it to Qin Daming. Third brother, this bowl is too thick. Your body is still weak. You should eat more. I cooked a full 2 jin of millet. There's a big bowl like this for everyone. None of us has had a full meal in a very long time. To be able to have hot porridge with meat now, it feels like a dream. Wow, it smells so good. It's meat. Da Ya and Ya picked up small pieces of chicken gizzard and liver and popped them into their mouths. They were smiling from ear to ear. Seeing how satisfied they looked, my heart ached. How long has it been since they've had any meat? Just a small taste of meat and the 2 girls were overjoyed. But a moment later, I realized something was wrong. My eldest brother and the others were only eating the vegetables, not touching the giblets. Da Ya and Ya were also being heartbreakingly considerate. Seeing that their uncles and aunt weren't eating the meat, they only dared to eat the ferns and wild onions with their porridge. The original owner's parents really taught these children well. Brothers should be considerate of one another, being sincere and down to earth. Big brother, second brother, why aren't you 2 eating any meat? I've had some. You all eat up. Go on, take some meat. We're a family. We share our blessings together. That's the only way our bond will last. My big brother and the others had never seen me so serious. They immediately fell silent. The entire family hadn't even smelled meat in 2.5 years. We had gone through so much trouble to catch a wild pheasant, yet the pieces of meat weren't even being touched. Big brother, don't try to fool me. Are you telling me you won't even eat the chicken's tail? You want to leave it for your younger brother and sisters? That's not right. Go on, eat the meat. After a long pause, Chin Daming finally used his chopsticks to pick up a piece of giblet the size of a fingernail. Take more than that. If you don't eat, how would our sister-in-law and the girls dare to touch their chopsticks? Left with no choice, Chin Daming could only pick up a large piece of giblet. Then, second brother and our eldest sister-in-law also started to eat. When Da Ya and Ya saw this, they ate with even more enthusiasm. Early the next morning, the family went up the mountain again to gather roots and bark, while I went to the west side of the Great Mountain. After climbing for about an hour, the system's notification sound finally went off in my head. Detected. Pure, wild tuna sprouts. 30 copper coins per jin. There are so many, I'm gonna be rich. I'm rich. Detected. 6 liang of pure, wild tuna sprouts. The notification sound never stopped. I didn't find it annoying at all. In fact, it sounded like music to my ears. Selling all these wild sprouts is much more practical. I can exchange them for money to buy things we desperately need. And we won't have to suffer through eating them boiled in plain water with no seasoning. Besides, these trees will grow new sprouts again in a few days. I can harvest them every 10 days. It's like having a steady paycheck. In total, I picked 11 jin of wild tuna sprouts and sold them for a whole 330 copper coins. I was so happy I couldn't stop smiling. I kept walking to the right. I discovered a natural sinkhole, about 2 or 3 mu in size. Aren't these water caltrops? This is a common aquatic food crop. It's the most filling, life-saving kind of food. A patch of water caltrops this big. I could harvest at least 4 to 5,000 jin. If I shared them with every household in the village, each family could get about 100 jin. The villagers will have a much easier time this winter. I tried to contain my excitement. I slid down the dirt slope, and the system's notification suddenly went off in my ear. Discovered. Pure, wild water caltrops. 6 copper coins per jin. Discovered. Pure, wild swamp eels. 50 copper coins per jin. Discovered. Pure, wild pond loaches. 30 copper coins per jin. Listening to the notifications, I was so happy I started to hum a tune. I never expected to find swamp eels and loaches here, in addition to the water caltrops. I picked about 10 jin and sold them for 66 coins. Seeing that the sky was getting dark, I loaded another 10 jin or so into my back basket before heading down the mountain for home. Third brother, you're finally back. What took you so long? My second brother, Chin Qingsheng, came up to help me with the basket and immediately spotted the shiny, purplish black things inside. What are these? Can you eat them? No one around here had ever seen water caltrops before. After all, they mostly grow in the southern marshes. They're edible. I'll cook them all in a bit so you can all have a taste. They're called water caltrops. When you steam them, they get really soft and starchy. It's also sweet, and you can eat it to fill your stomach like a meal. After I finished speaking, almost my entire family took a step back. This stuff was pitch black, and they had never seen it before. Afraid it might be poisonous, I poked at the purplish black water caltrops in the basket with my finger. I patiently explained, this is common in the rice paddies in the south. It's rare up here in the north, so it's perfectly normal that you haven't seen it. I only found out about it a few years ago listening to storytellers at a restaurant. After lunch this afternoon, our whole family is going to pick water caltrops. There's a huge pond of them over there. We should be able to gather at least a few 100 pounds. That'll get us through the winter. Hearing this, the family's suspicion slowly began to fade. At noon, I boiled all 10-some pounds of water caltrops. The moment I lifted the lid, a sweet fragrance immediately wafted out. I was afraid my family wouldn't know how to eat them, so I picked one up to demonstrate. You just break the water caltrop open with both hands like this. And eat the white meat inside. Wow, this one is so sweet. How come mine isn't sweet? But it's starchy and delicious too. Sis, let me have a bite of your sweet one. The two little girls huddled together, trading bites. Watching this scene, my heart felt warm and fuzzy. Second brother, do you know how to catch swamp eels and loaches? I saw a lot of eel holes over by the water caltrop pond. We can catch some for us to eat, or take them to the restaurant in town to sell for money. I'll take care of it. I'll find some iron wire to make a few hooks and prepare some bait. I'll go fish for eels tomorrow. Once everyone was about done eating, I picked up a large bowl of water caltrops and headed next door. Li Er's family had helped us out quite a bit in the past. Now that we had something good, they should be the first ones we share it with. As I stepped into Li Er's house, I saw a few bowls of boiled wild vegetables on the table. They didn't even have any kanji. Tians, come in, sit down. Have you eaten yet? I already ate at home. I came to bring you all something to eat today. What is this stuff? This is called a water caltrop. It grows in the rice paddies down south. Give it a try. Seeing that Li Er was about to refuse, I just went ahead and peeled a water caltrop and put it in Niu's hand. Go on, try it. It's sweet and filling, really tasty. It has a light, sweet flavor. Niu took a bite, and her eyes immediately lit up. She reached for another one and started peeling it herself. Completely forgetting about her wild vegetable soup, I found it in a pond up on the mountain. I discovered a huge patch of water caltrops. We should be able to harvest at least a few thousand pounds. What? Li Er jumped to his feet and ran to the doorway to look around. Seeing that no one was there, he quickly bolted the main door. Tians, what is this? Your family has helped mine out so much over the years. Now that everyone is running low on food, and I happen to find a source of it, how could I possibly keep it all to myself? After lunch, I'll take you all to go pick water caltrops. We'll stockpile as much as we can. When Li Er heard this, tears started streaming down his face and he was about to kneel, which gave me a huge shock. TNCE, just yesterday my husband was saying that we'd have to send Niu away for some food. We were worried sick, and then you brought this life-saving grain. I really don't know how to thank you. If you had arrived a moment later, our Niu would have been sent away. Oh, it had come to that? Second, don't give up hope. It doesn't matter if the whole family can eat their fill. Being together is the most important thing. Second auntie, please get up. TNCE is right. With your help, I will absolutely never think of selling my child again. After we talked for a while, I went back home. By the afternoon, the whole family was ready to leave. Sister-in-law, you stay home and give big brother a hand. Gather some extra firewood while you're at it. Let me go with you to the mountain to pick water caltrops. I can just grab some firewood on our way down. Sister-in-law Wang Shangling chimed in, twisting the corner of her clothes as her eyes drifted toward the door. I could tell she wanted to get extra to bring back to her mother and sister at her parents' home. Sister-in-law, you should just rest at home and help big brother. There are plenty of water caltrops in the mountains. When we bring them back, you can take some to your family. Thank you, I'll make sure to get the work done at home. Then, the few of us headed out, and ran right into second auntie Li and her family. A whole group of people was surging up the mountain. Lu Dongmai from our village happened to see our backs and sneered. I suppose they're out of food at home, running off to the mountains to suffer in the middle of the afternoon. Let's see if these two families can survive this winter. They deserve to suffer. About an hour later, our group arrived at the edge of a sinkhole. This is the place. Oh my goodness, there are so many water caltrops hidden under the vines. When you pick them, move the vines to the side. Don't step on them. As long as there's water in the pit, more will grow in a few days. Got it, let's get to work. Second auntie Li looked like she wanted to use both her hands and feet as she urged her own children to start. Xiao San, you guys pick the water caltrops first. I'm going to fish for eels. Second brother stepped into the mud pit, and immediately spotted several holes made by eels. Alright, you go ahead and handle it, I replied without even looking up. My hands busy pulling at the water caltrop vines. I got a bite, I caught one, and this one is really fat. As the day went on, the two families gathered 4 or 5 baskets of water caltrops. I looked at the overflowing baskets and figured, in this summer heat, they won't last more than a few days. We have to steam them, peel them, and dry them out to be safe. At the foot of the mountain, Lu Dongmai was bent over gathering firewood when she saw us coming down with our baskets. What did they find? Look how exhausted they are. Not long after, Lu Dongmai saw us heading back and forth up the mountain again. She simply tossed her firewood aside and silently followed behind me. Second auntie, it's getting late. Let's fill these last few baskets and then head down the mountain, second auntie. These water caltrops won't keep. They'll go bad by morning. First thing tomorrow, we have to steam them, peel them, and sun dry them for storage. Got it, Don't worry, Li nodded in agreement. He deftly stuffed the last handful of water caltrops into his basket and left. Let's go home, I announced, and headed home. Once we were far enough away, Lu Dongmai, who was hiding in the bushes, crept out. She spotted the water caltrop shells scattered around the edge of the pit. What's this stuff? Can you eat it? She wondered, picking one up. She bit it open at the shell's mouth. It was sweet, mealy, and tender. So that's how it is, Chin family. You find a huge patch of food like this and don't say a thing. How can you be so malicious? Before the sun's up tomorrow, I'm dragging my husband and the kids here to pick them. Why should you get it all for yourselves? The next day, at the crack of dawn, I led my whole family and Li Er's family up the mountain. As we neared the sinkhole, my second brother, who was leading the way, suddenly stopped in his tracks. Hey, looks like someone's in there. Could someone else have found this place? Auntie Li parted the bushes to take a look. Sure enough, there were several figures in the mud pit, rummaging through the water caltrop vines. It's Lu Dongmai's family. When we were carrying the caltrops back and forth yesterday, they must have seen us and followed us here. I went over to take a look. It really was them. In fact, Li and I had already made a plan. We'd pick for one more morning, and then in the afternoon, we would tell the villagers about this spot. I'm going down the mountain to tell the villagers about the water caltrops. You guys hurry up and pick some more. Okay, you'd better go now. Don't dawdle on the way. Everyone in the village is tightening their belts. We have to help out wherever we can. As for that Lu Dongmai, she's always been sneaky and lazy. If we really let her hog it all for herself, who knows what kind of trouble she'd cause. I took off running down the mountain, heading straight for the big banyan tree by the well at the village entrance. I raised my hand and rang the bronze bell. Villagers started arriving in 2s and 3s. It's so early in the morning. Has something urgent happened? Chin family's boy, what are you ringing the bell for so early in the morning? What's the big emergency? Elders and fellow villagers, I've discovered a field of water caltrops on the mountain. They can be eaten as a meal. I estimate there are several thousand pounds. Everyone, hurry home and get your baskets. Follow me up the mountain to pick the caltrops. What? Are there really thousands of pounds of something that can fill our stomachs? The crowd exploded into an uproar. They were afraid they'd heard wrong. Why would I lie to you? Hurry home and get your things. Before I even finished speaking, the crowd immediately dispersed. In just the time it takes to smoke a pipe, I led a large group of men, women, and children in a great procession up the mountain. This is it, just pick the water caltrops from under these vines and take them back. Wash them clean, steam them in a pot, and you can eat them right after peeling the skin. Remember not to trample the vines. Throw them back into the water. If there's water next year, we'll be able to harvest them again. The moment the villagers heard they could start, they swarmed out. When Lu Dongmai saw several hundred people swarm into the pit, she was completely stunned. Li Qing's wife, how did you all get here? It seems the entire village is here. We'll be lucky to get 100 caddies or so for ourselves. The Chin family's boy said he found thousands of caddies of something edible up on the mountain. And without a second thought, he called the whole village over to pick it. What a good heart he has. Enough talk, enough talk. If we keep chatting, all the water caltrops will be gone. Hearing this, Lu Dongmai's face flushed with anger and jealousy. Yesterday she was annoyed that the Chin family was being secretive, and now she's furious he invited the entire village. It must be that third son of the Chin family. He saw me here and is deliberately trying to cut off my livelihood. That has to be it. In a 3 mu wide mud pit, it was only just past noon, and the water caltrop vines were already becoming sparse. After finishing the water caltrop harvest, Chin Tianse's family didn't go up the mountain for several days. Early this morning, Chin Tianse heard a noise coming from the backyard. He pushed the door open and, my goodness, his eldest and second eldest brothers were squatting by a mud pile, making adobe bricks. They were planning to build 5 new rooms this time. They'd need at least 10,000 more adobe bricks. That's a huge shortfall. For the past few days, the 2 brothers had been working relentlessly in the backyard. Staring at the adobe house for a long moment, Chin Tianse suddenly slapped his forehead. Firing bricks. This could be a way to make money. Green bricks are a real luxury these days. Only wealthy merchants and high officials can afford houses made of green bricks. Common people rarely even get to see them. If he could fire bricks and sell tiles, Chin Tianse's eyes instantly lit up. Big brother, make a mold this size, this long, and this high. Later, Pack plenty of adobe bricks into it. Remember, don't mix straw into the adobe. I'm doing a little experiment. The more Chin Tians thought about it, the more promising it seemed, and he urged his big brother to hurry up and make the brick mold. Third brother, what are you messing around with this for? It's a secret, you'll find out later. Second brother, you're good with your hands. Go build a brick kiln somewhere downwind. First, build the base 3 feet high. Leave a channel in the front for the ash to fall through. Carve out an arched hole on each side for feeding firewood. When it's 2 feet high, lay down a layer of sturdy, fire-resistant grating. Then use wooden strips to create a rounded arch support, and stack the kiln walls into a semi-spherical dome to seal the top. How big does this kiln need to be? Big enough to fit 2,000 adobe bricks of this size. Second brother, how long will it take you to finish? Help me out with this. I can definitely get it done before dinner. After the kiln is built, big brother, move all the dried adobe bricks into the kiln to fire them. They need to burn for at least 4 shi chen. I'll take the first half of the night watch, and you take the second half. Remember to keep the fire blazing hot. Whatever you do, don't let it go out in the middle of the process. What on earth are we doing? Seeing his 2 older brothers staring at him, Chin Tians finally explained slowly, our maternal grandmother's family used to make money by firing green bricks. I've seen how our grandfather's family fired bricks, so I thought I'd try to copy them. It might actually work, but what we make this time probably won't be green bricks. It'll be red bricks. Will it work? Adobe without straw mixed in? We'd be lucky if it just holds its shape. And you can still fire it into a brick? Why can't it be a green brick? And what in the world is a red brick? The final step in firing green bricks. It needs to be soaked thoroughly with water. We're in a drought now and water is scarce. We can't do this step. We can only let it cool down naturally. What comes out this way are red bricks. Blue bricks are stronger and more durable. They're alkali-resistant, weatherproof, and waterproof. They can last for many years. Although red bricks are hard enough, making them saves time and labor during firing. But in terms of alkali resistance and durability, they're slightly inferior to blue bricks. No wonder they had us gather so much firewood before. Turns out it was saved for firing bricks. Chin Qingsheng urged his older brother. Hurry up and get started. Chin Tians, however, turned and went back into the house to make dinner. Not long after the family finished dinner, the bronze bell in the village square rang. The village head was summoning the villagers for a meeting. By the time Chin Tians and the others arrived, a lot of people had already gathered in the square, clustered in 2s and 3s, chatting. Auntie, how did it go? I went to the grain shop in town today to buy grain. The prices are absolutely frightening. Even the cheapest dark flour has risen to 6 wen per jin. That's double the original price. Polished rice and the like have also gone up. They're almost 50% more expensive. If it doesn't rain again this year, the price of grain will keep rising. At this time, village head Li saw that almost everyone had gathered. Standing under the large banyan tree, he raised his voice and shouted to the villagers. Fugi's family was robbed a few nights ago. The little bit of grain they had left was stolen. You all know about this, right? I've called you folks here today to discuss forming a guard team to patrol the village at night. My house is in the middle of the village. If thieves are going to steal, they'll rob the houses at the ends of the village. What does that have to do with my family? If you really want to form a guard team, you people at the ends of the village should provide the men and the effort yourselves. If we're going by what you say, my family is so poor we can barely eat. Does that mean I don't have to get involved either? We all live in the same village. As the saying goes, even when a bone is broken, the sinew's still connected. As long as Uncle Lee asks, whether it's providing men or money, my Chin family won't even blink an eye. As soon as those two finished speaking, everyone present understood perfectly. One was the selfish type who only sweeps the snow in front of his own door. The other was an upstanding person who put the bonds of the clan first. Who was superior and who was inferior was clear at a glance. Listen up, everyone. Every household must provide one able-bodied adult for the guard team. Every night, I will arrange for 6 people to patrol both ends of the village. Any family that doesn't participate will be directly expelled from the Li clan. After you die, don't even think about being buried in the ancestral tomb. You'll have no face to meet your ancestors. Village head Li glanced at the villagers with other surnames below and continued. For those not surnamed Li, if you want to contribute a man, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine too. But let me make the unpleasant parts clear up front. In the future, if your family gets robbed or runs into trouble, you solve it yourselves. Don't come crying to the clan for help. I'm not here to discuss this with you today. I'm giving you an order. Now, every household, hurry up and sign up. From now on, we will take turns on patrol duty. Everyone knew that. Village head Lee was not only the village head but also the patriarch of the Lee clan. Once these words were spoken, the rule was set in stone. In the following days, besides patrolling the village as guards, the three Chin brothers also had to fire bricks, which was very hard work. That morning, at the beginning of the Mao hour, Chin Tians woke up and ran to the backyard, where he saw his older brother sitting by the kiln, nodding off. His head bobbed up and down, like a little chick pecking at rice. These last 2 days were the most critical part of firing the bricks, requiring someone to watch over them through the night. His older brother had been on watch for the entire second half of the night. Even a man of iron couldn't take it. Big brother, I've checked the time. It's been firing for 9 hours. The heat is just right. Don't add any more firewood for now. Let the kiln cool down slowly. We'll know if it's a success when we open the kiln later. You should hurry back and get some sleep. Don't wear yourself out. After the rest of the family gradually woke up, they all ran excitedly to the brick kiln to see how the bricks turned out. These bricks are fired so well. They're as good as the ones from the official kilns. Yeah, we could sell these bricks for a pretty good price. Third brother, you're a genius. Hearing this, Chin Tians gave a slight smile. Big brother, pick out a few red bricks to bring along and come with me to the village head's house. Third brother, what are you up to? Big brother, you'll know once we get to the village head's house. Chin Tians and Chin Daming rushed to the village head's house without a moment's rest. Uncle Lee Jung, quick, sit down and rest. Look at you two, all out of breath from running. To be honest with you, I actually came today to ask for a favor. Back in the day, my maternal grandfather's family made and sold bricks. They supported their family with this craft. I still remember some of the techniques for firing bricks, so yesterday I had my big brother try firing a batch. Hey, and it was a success. Big brother, show the bricks to Uncle Lee Jung. Chin Daming quickly took a few red bricks out of the back basket. Lee Jung Lee took them. He examined them carefully, raising an eyebrow. Oh, why are these bricks red? But their hardness and texture are no different from the blue-gray bricks. I never thought the Chin family had such a special skill. Once this disaster passes, the Chin family might just be able to turn their fortunes around. Right now with this major drought, there's no water in the fields. We can't complete the final step for the bricks, so we can only fire them into red bricks. I came today to ask you, Uncle Lee Jung, if these red bricks can be sold for money. Do you think anyone will buy them? You're so experienced and knowledgeable. Please, help point us in the right direction. Throughout his speech, Chin Tians was full of the sincerity of a junior and just the right amount of flattery. Blue-gray bricks currently sell for 3 for 1 coin. The hardness and all of your red bricks is about the same. It's just that the color is different. I'm not sure if people will accept them. I'll go to town tomorrow to ask about the market for you. This color issue is really a gamble. After all, everyone is used to seeing blue-gray bricks. That's why I'm planning to sell 5 bricks for 1 coin. If our fellow villagers want to buy some, it can be even cheaper. 6 bricks for 1 coin. Brick making is a business of trading hard work for money anyway. The most important thing right now is to establish a market and earn some money. That way, we won't have to worry. The moment Lee Jung Lee heard this price, his eyes lit up. You see, he had been thinking about building a new house for some time. It was as the Chin boy said, 6 bricks for 1 coin. This way, we can save half the money. I've made a note of this. Back home during dinner that evening, Chin Tians discussed it with his big brother and sister-in-law. Let's go to town together tomorrow. Hearing they were going to town, Da Ya and Ya immediately put down their chopsticks, their eyes fixed on him. Third brother will take you next time. Da Ya and Ya answered cheerfully. Their hearts were already filled with anticipation. After eating for a while, Chin Tians began to steer the conversation to a more serious matter. These last couple of days, hasn't the weather been strange? It's been a drought for 2 years straight, and we still haven't seen a single drop of rain. I once heard a storyteller say that extreme drought is always followed by locusts. The drier the weather, the more likely a locust plague. Those things love to lay their eggs in parched earth. Once there's nothing left for them to eat in the wild, they'll start devouring the crops all at once. What, a locust plague? Upon hearing about a potential locust plague, Qin Daming's face instantly fell. No one can guarantee it, but what if it happens? Look how dry the fields are. Then let's get more mugwort, mint, and patchouli. Last time we used those to smoke out the house, the mosquitoes didn't even bite me. Maybe it can scare away the locusts. You silly girl. There are too many open fields out there. With one gust of wind, the smoke will scatter in an instant. It can't stop thousands and thousands of locusts. At most, you'll shoo away 2 or 3. It's completely useless. We still need to think of a practical solution. Then, what can we do? In the end, all eyes fell on Qin Tian's. Ever since the boy had recovered from his illness, he had become more and more decisive in his words and actions, and had unknowingly become the backbone of the family. Well, I do have a few methods we can try. The first is to kill the locusts with bonfires. At night, we light a huge fire. Locusts are attracted to bright lights, so we can lure them over to be burned to death. The second is to use cloth or fishing nets to catch them, but that method isn't very practical. Plus, it's very slow and only suitable for a small area. The third is to raise more chickens and ducks. They love to eat locusts. They're their natural predators, especially during the larval stage. One duck can eat 80 to 100 locusts a day. Tomorrow, after we sell the eels in town, let's buy some ducklings to raise. Even if there's no locust plague, when they grow up, we can still have their eggs and meat. We can't lose. To be honest, these are all methods I saw while scrolling on my phone in my past life. The next day, at the crack of dawn, Qin Tian's, Qin Daming, and Wang Shangling had a small meal of steamed water caltrops and then set off for Yong'an town. As they passed the grain store and the butcher's stall, Qin Daming suddenly stopped in his tracks. He couldn't move a muscle, his face filled with disbelief. Good heavens, rice is 30 wen per jin. It's doubled in price, millet is 15 wen, and black flour has risen to 10 wen, a full 3-fold increase. Pork has also shot up like crazy, 30 wen per jin. That's not the price of meat, that's daylight robbery. The family has barely any money in total. Less than 500 wen if we're lucky. 500 wen is nothing against these prices. If we hadn't harvested those water caltrops early, the whole family would probably starve this winter. What's there to panic about? Once we sell the eels, we'll have money. When we get inside, you two say less. I'll do the bargaining. After saying that, Qin Tian's led the two to the Yinkalai restaurant. He strode towards the middle-aged man at the counter. Brother, are you the shopkeeper here? That's right, my surname is Shui. You three can just call me shopkeeper Shui. You must be here to sell eels, right? In previous years, when there wasn't a disaster, people from all over would bring them. But with the current drought, if you're willing to sell to us, Yinkalai will offer a price of 40 wen per jin. Qin Tian saw right through the shopkeeper's attempt to lowball him. Shopkeeper Shui, that's not a very honest price you're offering. We just asked at the Hongyun restaurant, and they offered us 50 wen per jin straight up. You're 10 wen short. I think we'll just go to Hongyun restaurant. As he spoke, Qin Tians gave Qin Daming a look and pretended to turn around. Hold on, you three. Hongyun restaurant is offering 50 wen? Then we at Yinkalai will match that price. Qin Daming and Wang Shangling were bewildered. Neither of them remembered going to any Hongyun restaurant. He was clearly just making that 50 wen figure up. The shopkeeper at Hongyun restaurant said if we were serious about selling, the price was negotiable. If you're not sincere, shopkeeper Shui, the price of rice is skyrocketing these days. I have to make every wen count. Why would I waste my time here? As he spoke, Qin Tians gave his brother a look and again made a move to leave. This kid saw right through me. I acted too eager. He figured out that the restaurant is desperate for these eels. Alright, be straight with me. How much do you really want? 60 wen per jin, HMPH, but we have a deal. From now on, if you get any more of these rare goods, you must bring them to our Yinkalai restaurant first. Of course, next time we catch some game, you'll be the first we bring it to. Shopkeeper Shui called over an assistant to weigh the goods. The eels in the wooden bucket weigh a total of 14 jin and 8 liang. Let's round it up and call it 15 jin. The moment the three of them left the restaurant, Qin Tians counted out 100 wen from his money pouch. He stuffed it into his big brother's hand. Brother, take sister-in-law to the clinic to have a doctor check her pulse. Don't be stingy with the money. Your health is more precious than anything. Brother-in-law, there's nothing wrong with me. The 10 wen for a pulse check is enough to buy a jin of black flour. Wang Shangling wanted to refuse again, but Chin Daming gently tugged on her sleeve. Listen to our younger brother. We'll go to the clinic first, then. Let's meet at the city gate in a couple of hours. I'm going to go get some things. Yong'an town only has a few streets. It doesn't take long to walk through it all. Chin Tians browsed the goods as he strolled along. Before long, he saw a stall selling ducklings. Boss, how much for these ducklings? 5 wen each. These are all female ducklings. Once they're grown, if they don't lay eggs, you can bring them back to me. I'll take both males and females. But your ducklings look a bit listless. Are they sick? Oh, come on. It's just the heat getting to them. You buy them, take them home, and toss them in the water. Guarantee they'll be splashing around happily. 3 wen each. I'll take them all. He quietly opened the system to take a look. The ducklings inside were only 4 wen each. That was even lower than the price this shopkeeper was asking. Now he had some confidence. So naturally, he dared to haggle. Are you sure? There are 100 of them here. This is the price. Fine. It's a deal. They're yours. The shopkeeper gritted his teeth and lifted the cage lid. Right in front of him, he grabbed them one by one and put them into another empty cage. Watch carefully. Exactly 100. If even a single feather is missing, it's on me. 300 wen. Count it clearly. After counting the money, Chin Tians pointed at the empty bamboo cage on the ground. You don't have any use for this cage anymore. Might as well throw it in for me. Fine, fine, fine. Take it, take it. Although the price was haggled down hard, this batch of ducklings was indeed in a bad way. If he didn't sell them soon, he'd be stuck with them. After the money and goods were exchanged, Chin Tians carried the duck cage, twisting and turning through the alleys until he found an empty one. Chin Tians quickly opened the system and spent 10 wen on 2 large bags of medicine for duck plague. He also bought 100 lively little ducklings from the system, and stuffed 50 jin of sweet potato flour and 50 jin of millet into his back basket. He also got 5 jin of pork belly and 5 jin of pork lard. In total, he spent 1,100 wen. When the locust plague comes, I'll be counting on these little guys. If it weren't for selling the wild spring shoots and water caltrops, plus the 500 wen left from selling eels that he put into the system, he wouldn't have had the money to buy that bit of pork. Now, the balance in his system is only 20 wen. Money flows like water. He was back to being poorer than dirt. Just as Chin Tians was pondering, he heard Chin Daming, who was supporting Wang Xiangling, shout from a distance. Little San, we're back. How was the checkup? Third brother, you're going to be an uncle. The doctor said Xiangling is pregnant. Almost 2 months along. Didn't you buy any medicine or supplements? It's not that we didn't want to buy any. It's just that after the doctor checked her pulse, he said the pregnancy is very stable. He said just eating normally is fine. Chin Tians hummed in acknowledgement. He shoved the back basket full of rice, flour, and meat into his big brother's arms and then pointed to the 2 cages of ducklings. Big brother, these are for you. Let's go home. Chin Daming took the heavy back basket and stared at the lively ducklings. The pristine white rice and flour, his mind buzzing. So many things, and there's even pork. We can finally eat rice and flour again. Just as they reached Second Auntie Lee's doorway, Second Auntie Lee quickly came outside to take a look and saw the 3 of them. She saw Chin Daming carrying things on his back and in his hands. Did you go to the market in town? Why did you buy so many ducklings? Suddenly, a glint appeared in Chin Tianse's eyes, as if he had thought of something. Big brother, you and sister-in-law go back first and put the ducklings in the backyard pen. Then get them some water and feed. This is some medicine the duck seller gave me. He said it's to prevent diseases from spreading. You can mix it with water and feed it to them. Chin Daming nodded, took the medicine, and went home with his wife. Second Auntie, do you still remember when my family fled here from the famine years ago? How could I not remember? You all fled from the west. Your clothes were all torn and tattered. What does that have to do with you buying these ducklings? The situation back then was a lot like it is now. We had a drought for 2 straight years. In the 3rd year, a plague of locusts came. They devoured every last crop in the fields. Ever since then, a saying has been passed down in the village. It's called, a great drought brings a plague of locusts. I'm just afraid we'll run into the same thing. That's why I bought some ducks to raise. Ducks and locusts are mortal enemies. You just herd them into the fields, and they'll peck the locusts clean. It won't come to that, will it? Well, who can say for sure? Just think of it as peace of mind. And ducks can eat locusts. Then I'll go buy a few ducklings tomorrow, too. There's no downside to raising ducks. They lay eggs, you can eat the meat, or sell them for money. And if there really is a locust plague, they can save the crops. If the fields yield nothing, we won't be able to pay taxes, and they'll draft the men for service. Could Uncle Lee and the two kids handle that? Service? Hearing the word service, Lee shuddered. He shook his head forcefully. No, that can't happen. Then when my wife gets back later, I'll have to discuss it with her. We should buy some ducklings. Chin Tians grinned. If every household in the village raises ducklings, with about 100 households, that's no small number. When the locust plague comes, there will be tens of thousands of ducks. That scene. A dense swarm of locusts. I can't even imagine it. The two of them worked for a while longer. Seeing the sun setting in the west, Chin Tians also headed home. When he got home, he called the whole family over. Our family now has 200 ducklings. Someone needs to look after them full-time. Yeah, from now on, the job of feeding the ducks is yours. When you have time, think about it and see if you can teach the ducks to obey your commands. Later on, we'll need to herd them to the paddy fields to get them familiar with the place. Eldest sister-in-law, you're pregnant now. So just rest at home and help watch over the 200 ducklings. We absolutely can't lose any of the ducks. As for us three brothers, we'll be responsible for the family's work, as always. As soon as Chin Tians finished speaking, everyone's eyes fell on Wang Xiangling's belly. I'm going to be an uncle. I'm going to be an aunt. Hearing that Wang Xiangling was pregnant, the whole family was overjoyed. In a flash, 10 days passed. Before they knew it, it was mid-July. The Chin family had fired nearly 200,000 bricks, and over 100,000 tiles, stacked up like a small mountain. But not a single one of these many bricks had been sold. That evening, Village Head Lee paid a visit. Uncle Village Head, what brings you here? Come in, have a seat. Tians, I'm here on official business today. There's news about the buyer for the red bricks you asked me to find. Squire Lu in town wants to renovate his old residence, but he's run out of the green bricks. I showed him your family's red bricks. The old fellow compared them for a long time and felt the quality wasn't bad. It's just that he's never seen red bricks before, and he's afraid the walls won't be sturdy or the roof will leak. Squire Lu came up with an idea. If someone else were to build a house with red bricks first, living here for a couple of months, there's been no trouble. When the time comes, he'll buy a few 100,000 bricks from you, I reckon. Your family's kiln has ready-made bricks stacked up. Why don't you guys get started first? Chin Tians didn't answer right away. He crouched down, fiddling with a blade of grass on the ground, and said, to build 5 main rooms with a backyard, a kitchen, and a co-op for chickens and ducks. And then build a surrounding wall. How many bricks would that take? And how much labor? At least 200,000 bricks to start. 30 able-bodied men, if they're quick, could do it in 20 days. If they're a bit slower, it'll take a month. If the beams and lumber are prepared in advance, and the foundation is dug, it could save a lot of effort. Hiring the villagers to work, how much would the daily wage be? These days, grain is more precious than money. We can't afford to provide meals. 30 people can eat 80 to 100 jin of grain a day. And they're all fellow villagers. How about 10 wen a day, uncle? To be honest with you, our family really can't handle such a large expense. If you ask me, we should build 2 or 3 small rooms first. Just enough to live in is fine. Could you go and talk it over with him? If it works out, he'll definitely thank you properly. I'll head to town tomorrow to talk it over with official Lu again. Oh, right, there's something else. A lot of people in the village are saying extreme drought brings a plague of locusts. They say you're the one who started this talk. What's really going on? Don't just spread wild rumors. It's making everyone panic. Uncle, that rumor did indeed start with me, but I never said it was for certain. Years ago, back in my old hometown, we had a drought for 2 straight years. A locust plague broke out the second year. The drought in our village now is just like it was back then. So when I was chatting with Lee I just mentioned it in passing. Who knew it would spread so fast? I can't say for sure. That a locust plague is definitely coming. I was just thinking that it's never wrong to be prepared beforehand. As he said this, Chin Tianse's gaze swept over the flock of ducks fluttering in the yard. You see, I bought some ducklings to raise first. Ducks are the natural enemy of locusts. Besides ducks, what else can deal with locusts? Fire. Light bonfires at night. Locusts are drawn to the light. When they land, you can sweep them up with a broom and kill a lot of them. Also, spreading plant ash on the crops. When the locusts try to eat it, it can also deter them. I just hope the village can safely get through this year. Just hoping is useless. We need to store up more grain and supplies for the winter. Even if we survive the locust plague in the 9th month, the snow disaster in the 10th month will be even deadlier. Heavy snow can collapse houses and freeze people to death. After the village head left, the family gathered in the backyard to figure out the house building plan. Let's just build 3 rooms, each one 10 kai wide, and 15 kai long. The one in the northwest corner will be for the ducks, and the remaining 2 will be bedrooms. When the old house is torn down and rebuilt, we can still use these. Start now? But we don't have much money on hand. We can't afford to hire workers. Besides, we haven't even gathered all the lumber for the beams. We're short on lime, mud, and sand too, bro. I get what Shaosan means now. This is a temporary makeshift house. Once the old house is torn down, we'll need a place to stay, right? It's not just a temporary house. As long as we build it with red bricks first and live in it for a couple of months. Steward Lu will inspect it, and if there are no problems, he'll buy our bricks. Once we get the money, everything else will be easy. After hearing this, their eyes lit up. So, what are we waiting for? We start tomorrow morning. Chin Tians watched them, seeing how eager they were. A slight smile appeared on his face. This move would both ease Steward Lu's worries, and also get us some temporary housing ahead of time. Once we sell the bricks, we can rebuild and make it a proper new house. It's 3 birds with 1 stone. Starting tomorrow, nobody goes up the mountain. We have to get this house built within 7 days. Tonight, 2 of you stay and watch the brick kiln. The rest of you, get some sleep. The next day, everyone was up bright and early. They started working right after breakfast. Tians, are you all building a new house? We're planning to build 3 small rooms as a temporary place first. When we build the big, tiled house later on, we'll need a place to stay, won't we? In a bit, I'll call my husband and the 2 kids over to lend a hand. Just tell us what to do. We're happy to have people come help. But just so you know, there are no wages, and we're not providing meals. But I won't let you work for nothing. I'll keep track of your wages every day. Later on, if your family needs to build a house, you can use it as credit for bricks. I'll even throw in some extra bricks for you. How does that sound? That's a great idea. It's a deal. Chin Tians took the opportunity to work out a new system. From now on, anyone in the village who helps with construction can be paid in brick credit. That afternoon, village head Li showed up. Good news, Steward Lu has agreed to your proposal. He said to go ahead and build a few small rooms as a test. He'll send a carpenter in August to inspect the house. If there are no issues, he'll place an order for the bricks. Village head Li glanced toward the back of the yard and didn't stay long. After delivering the message, he went home to get his 3 kids to help. Now, they had a lot more hands. While everyone was busy working, the neighbor Li Er's daughter ran over. The little girl had just arrived when Auntie Li Er came chasing after her. You little rascal, I told you to go up the mountain and gather firewood. Where have you been running wild? You look like a little mud monkey. Auntie don't work yourself up. If her clothes are dirty, we can just wash them. If they're torn, I'll help her mend them tonight. If you hit her and really hurt her, what would you do? She's just a little rascal. If she were half as sensible as you, I'd live 10 years longer. She's already a 10-year-old girl. Just look at her, this outfit. She's filthier than if she'd been rolling around in a pigsty. If I don't discipline her today, she'll be completely out of control later. Daya turned to look, and it was true. Ernia's face had patches of black and gray, and her fingernails were caked with dirt. She even had grass seeds stuck in her hair. Erniu, go wash your face first. Auntie, calm down. Just then, Chin Tians happened to be passing by. When he saw Ernia's smudged, cat-like face and blackened clothes, his gaze hardened. Erniu, hurry and tell your 3rd brother what happened. Where did you get covered in this black stuff? Don't be afraid, just tell me the truth. I was gathering firewood on the side of the mountain. I saw a gray rabbit, and as I was chasing it, I rolled down to the bottom of a hill. When I got up, I was covered in this dark, grimy stuff. I wanted to sneak home to change, but Mom caught me. Do you remember which part of the forest you rolled into? I remember. It's not far from the pond where we picked those black fruits last time. Let's go. Take your 3rd brother to have a look. What's there to see? It's not like it's going to turn into treasure. Maybe it really is a treasure. Auntie, don't worry. I'll help Erniu gather her firewood on the way. We won't be late for dinner. Though Renew was small, she had a great memory. She led Chin Tians on a winding path for over half an hour, finally stopping at the bottom of an earthen slope. Third brother, this is it. I rolled down from the top while chasing the rabbit. Chin Tians narrowed his eyes to get a better look. At the bottom of the slope, black layers of rock were exposed, one stacked on top of another. It looked like burnt rice from the bottom of a pot. He quickly walked down. The moment his firewood axe touched the rock layer. Detected natural coal. 1 jin for 1 copper coin. Whoa, it's really coal. I've hit the jackpot. With this coal, the problem of staying warm this winter will be solved. If the vein is big enough, I might be able to help the whole village get through the winter. But everyone here still doesn't know what coal is. They usually just use peat and bamboo charcoal. Nowadays, the nobles in the palace use golden silk charcoal, which is made from burning hardwood. The fire is strong and produces little smoke. 1 piece can sell for dozens of coins. Ordinary families burn a little peat at most. Detected 2 jin of natural coal. Sell? Don't sell. Are you kidding? Erniu is standing right next to me. Third brother, can this black stone really make a fire? You'll see when we get home and light the stove. This stuff burns really well. How can a stone burn? I don't believe you. I'm going to gather firewood. With that, Erniu skipped away. Don't go too far, okay? After the little girl had run off, Chin Tians headed deeper in. As Chin Tians continued further, the system's voice sounded again and again. Detected 2 jin of natural coal. Chin Tians sold it as he walked deeper. He kept poking the coal beneath the layer of dirt with his axe. It was rock solid, and the layer was at least half a person deep. My goodness, this is a gold mine. This coal seam must go all the way into the mountain. It's getting late, I should take some home for now. Let the family try it first. Chin Tians carried the coal on his back and headed home with Erniu. As soon as he got home, he put down the basket on his back. He ran straight to the backyard. Dia, light up the stove, throw a few of these black stones inside. Remember, once they catch fire, don't add any more wood. This grimy black thing can burn? Just try it and you'll see. Dia lit the coal, and the thick smoke made her choke and her eyes water. Model. The whole family was alarmed. Dia, why are you crying? Who was it? Who bullied you? No, no one bullied me. Third brother told me to burn this black rock. As soon as I lit it, it started smoking. I was choked by the smoke. I heard she wasn't bullied. Only then did Chin Daming let out a sigh of relief. Then he peeked into the stove. Goodness, burning a black rock? What was third brother thinking? How can a rock catch fire? Third brother said, it could be burned, but I didn't know how to light it. I'll give it a try. As he spoke, Chin Qingsheng grabbed a bamboo tube and blew into the stove. After a dozen breaths, he finally saw the edges of the coal glow a dim red. It's lit. Wow, this thing can really burn. But what kind of rock can be set on fire? This isn't a rock, it's coal. Just then, Chin Tians walked into the kitchen. Seeing the coal in the stove was lit, his eyes instantly brightened. This is called coal. It's different from the peat and bamboo charcoal we usually burn. Not only is the fire strong, but it also burns for a very long time. Then how did you know this thing could burn? I've seen a thing or two in town before. Once, in town, I saw something similar burning in a rich family's brazier. I heard it was shipped from the north, and it's very expensive. What I dug up today is even better than that. Chin Tian spouted nonsense without batting an eye. Anyway, there was no way to verify what he said. First brother, second brother. You two come take a look at the fire in the stove. Chin Daming leaned over for a look. The lump of coal was already glowing red. This coal can not only be used in the stove, it can also heat the Kong bed, and it lasts a long time. 1 piece is worth 3 bundles of firewood. I dug up half a basket on the mountain today, about 30 to 50 pounds. It's enough for us to use for 10 to 15 days. Let's not use firewood tonight. Let's use the coal to fire the bricks. First brother, I think we should give it a try too. I'll first calculate how long 1 piece of coal can burn, then estimate how many pieces to put in the brick kiln. I need to get a clear idea first. Alright, we'll leave this detailed work to you. Night fell, moonlight covered the land, the siblings were busy making bricks. Dia suddenly felt her neck itch. She reached out to touch it. A small, brownish-yellow bug was lying in her palm. Second brother, look, what is this? Oh no, it's a locust. Before he could even finish his sentence, a rustling sound instantly started overhead, just like the sound of rain. A dense, dark swarm of insects was seen flying towards the village. It's a locust plague. There are so many locusts. Third brother, what should we do? Let's use fire to drive them away first. At the same time, the panicked voices of villagers could be heard in the village. Oh my goodness, it's locusts. Look, that black patch in the sky is flying towards the village. We're not about to have a locust plague, are we? Quick, drive the ducks into the rice paddies. Village head Lee was also quick to act, immediately taking a few men to pile up firewood at the village entrance. The Chin family had also lit their fire. Third brother, don't we have ducks? I'll let them go and catch the bugs. During this time, after my training, the ducks have become very obedient. Don't let them out tonight. Tomorrow morning, herd the ducks into the fields to catch some live insects. I want to test various pest control methods. I'll see which one works best. At that moment, countless locusts saw the light and swarmed towards it frantically. Instantly, many locusts in the fire gave off a burnt, fragrant smell. Mixed with the scent of grease, wafting out, Chin Tian-si sniffed the air. As if he thought of something, he grabbed 2 sticks and started poking them into the fire. Third brother, what are you doing? Da Ya saw Chin Tian-si pull out a blackened lump, and when she got closer to look, she almost jumped back. It's a locust. It's edible. Once it's cooked through, it's more fragrant than fried cicadas. It's all black and looks disgusting. Third brother, how dare you eat that? What's there to be afraid of? This is meat. Give it a try. It's crispy and crunchy. It's even tastier than the dried sweet potatoes you made. Da Ya hesitated for 2 seconds, then reached out, picked up a locust, and took a bite. It is delicious. It's really fragrant. Big brother, second brother, Ya, you guys have to try it. Chin Qingsheng also took one and popped it into his mouth. Hey, it tastes pretty much like a roasted sparrow. Ya was having an existential crisis. Steeling himself, he picked one up, closed his eyes, and bit down. The outer skin was so crispy it crumbled. It was surprisingly refreshing. We should catch more live ones tomorrow. This stuff might just save lives. Third brother, let's go to the fields tomorrow morning and catch a lot more. If we dry them, they can last for a long time, right? Yes, they can. How about we go to the fields to catch locusts right now? Let's catch a bunch. We can save them for breakfast tomorrow. That would save us 2 liters of millet. Okay, let's go to Aunt Lou's house now. Bring the net that's been laid out to cool, and grab 3 bamboo tubes. Carrying their tools, Chin Tianse's family walked towards the fields under the moonlight. As they were walking, Chin Tian-si heard Uncle Lee up ahead sighing. I've caught 5 or 6 caddies of locusts. It's enough for a feast for the chickens and ducks at home. They eat better than we do. Chin Tian-si paused, then quickened his pace. He caught up to Uncle Lee. People can eat locusts too. This stuff is meat. My family roasted a lot tonight. My brother and my sister were all fighting over them. Can you really eat them? How? It's the same as roasting a sparrow. You remove the wings and cook it through. Sprinkle a little salt, and it's more fragrant than dried meat. I ate more than 20 of them tonight. They're all plump and full of roe. You can dry the leftovers to preserve them. They can be stored for at least 2 months. I never thought locusts could be eaten. You're really the clever one. I just happened to know they were edible. I'll go back and try it then. TNC, I really owe you one. Uncle, you're being too formal. We're all neighbors here. We should all help each other out. After Uncle Lee headed in the opposite direction from them, on the way home, Ya hopped in front of him. Her little face was full of confusion. Third brother, can Uncle Lee really eat those bugs? He can. When people are truly desperate with hunger, they'll even gnaw on tree bark. It's only a matter of time before these bugs get eaten. As the two were talking, they suddenly saw some people arguing in the distance. Lu Dongmai, this duck is mine. Why did you herd it into your pen? What do you mean, yours? Isn't it perfectly normal for a duck to get mixed in with my flock? Go on, identify it if you can. All my ducks have green paint dotted on their heads. They're clearly marked. What a coincidence, my ducks have that mark too. Lu Dongmai sneered. She pointed to her own flock of ducks. There were 70 or 80 of them. And sure enough, they all had a green bean-sized mark on their foreheads. Mixed together, it was impossible to tell which was which. Chin Tians, who was passing by, took a look. He immediately understood. Since both of your ducks have green marks, then the unmarked ducks are yours, and the ones with marks are his. Doesn't that solve it? Chong Yunshu was stunned at first. But then he saw that out of Lu Dongmai's 70 to 80 ducks, only a few had green dots. He instantly understood. That's right, the ones with the green marks are ours. Everyone, pay attention. From now on, every family should put a unique mark on their ducks. Carve a bamboo tag, tie a red string, clip a wing feather. Whatever makes it stand out. That way they won't get mixed in with other ducks when you herd them to the paddy fields to catch bugs. It's not worth arguing until you're red in the face. The villagers all nodded, thinking that Chin Tians has a sharp mind. It's a good thing this happened. Otherwise, our own ducks would have ended up benefiting someone else. A few neighbors around them nodded along. Isn't that the truth? They all look so similar. What if we run into someone as shameless as Lu Dongmai? We'd really be at a loss. It's better to sort this out early to avoid trouble later. Oh, by the way, everyone. These locusts aren't just for feeding ducks. People can eat them too. Roasted until they're fragrant and crispy. They taste a lot like roasted sparrow. His words were like a drop of water in a hot wok. The crowd instantly erupted. Can you really eat them? How do you cook them? Don't you lie to us, kid. You're saying that stuff is edible? Of course it is. When you eat them, just pull off the wings and sprinkle some salt on them. Roast them over a fire until the oil starts to come out. The 4 of his siblings at my house already ate 2 catties. And they were delicious. Seeing everyone getting excited, Lu Dongmai was so angry she was grinding her molars. Chin Tians, you say these locusts are edible? If someone gets sick from eating them, can your family afford to pay for it? If you're afraid of getting sick, then don't eat them. The 4 of his siblings ate 2 catties and were perfectly fine. But if you get a stomachache from eating something else, don't you dare try to blame me. Just as Lu Dongmai was about to say more, she saw Chin Tians turn to village chief Li. His expression became serious. Uncle Chief, we're in the middle of a disaster right now. This is a time when everyone needs to work together. If someone insists on finding fault and breaking the rules, there have to be consequences. Otherwise, one bad apple will spoil the bunch, and everyone will suffer for it. Who are you talking about? I'm talking about whoever the shoe fits. What Tian said is right. If a family doesn't figure out how to survive a disaster year for themselves, just keep staring at what other families have. If everyone acts like her, our village is bound to fall apart. Shitu's family, get your woman in line. If she dares to pull any more sneaky tricks, don't blame me for being impartial. Li Shitu's face flushed a deep crimson. Being called out and criticized by the village chief like that, he was absolutely mortified. Uncle, rest assured, I'll go home and teach her a lesson. If she dares to cause trouble again, you can flog me with a cane yourself. The next day, just as the rooster crowed, Chin Tians and his 2 brothers headed up the mountain carrying pickaxes. The 3 of them had just gotten up the mountain when they rounded a bend and ran into the hunter, Li Benshi, who was dragging a fat wild dog down the path. 6th uncle, you're incredible. This big fella must be at least 30 jin, right? That's enough to trade for 2 strings of cash. Just a dumb thing I found on the mountain ridge. The drought is getting really bad. The animals are all heading to lower ground to find water. A few days ago, I dug a couple of pits on the game trail. When I went to check this morning, lo and behold, this dumb fella had fallen right in. If only I had your skills, 6th uncle. The other day, I even saw wild rabbit tracks on the back mountain. But unfortunately, I don't have the right gear. Li Benshi looked at Chin Qingsheng's expression and knew this kid wanted to learn his hunting tricks. As for hunting, it's 70% thinking and 30% skill. Come to my house tomorrow. Take that boxwood bow with you. 6th uncle saw right through 2nd brother's intentions. A hunter's skills are never taught to outsiders. But Li Benshi was willing to give him a bow, probably because he remembered the Chin family sharing their water caltrops with him last time. Thanks, uncle. I'll come to your house to learn from you as soon as I get down the mountain. Cut the chatter, I'm off. Li Benshi dusted off his robe and waved his hand, striding down the mountain. Watching his retreating figure, Chin Tian suddenly had a flash of inspiration. Before, he had bought some wild chickens and rabbits from the system, and let his big brother and the others catch them just to satisfy a craving. Why not learn from Li Benshi and dig a trap? Then, he could get a wild boar or a roe deer from the system and toss it in. He could just say their own trap caught it. If they got a 200 or 300 jin wild boar, it would be enough to feed the whole family for 2 months. The more Chin Tians thought about it, the more feasible it seemed. Looking at Chin Qingsheng's envious expression, Chin Tian smiled. 2nd brother, don't be so envious. After we finish digging for coal, We can also find a place to dig a couple of traps. Who knows, maybe we'll catch something. When sixth uncle digs traps, he sets snares and puts down bait and all that. We don't know anything about it. Can we really catch anything? Who cares? We won't know unless we try. What if we actually catch something? As long as the trap is dug well, there are plenty of wild animals in the system. I can just toss one in, and we'll have our ready-made prey. Okay, you're the boss. Let's go. We'll dig the coal first, and then find a patch of woods to get started. The three brothers immediately headed to the coal digging spot. Maybe it's because no one had ever discovered this place. But the coal seam was incredibly rich. In just about an hour, they had already dug out about 100 jin of coal. The men rested for a while, and then started looking for a place to dig the trap. Little 3. Where should we dig the traps? Let's find a hidden spot. 1. To prevent the villagers from seeing them when they come up the mountain. 2. Those wild animals are very clever. They definitely won't use the main path. After searching for a while, the three brothers found a suitable place. This is it, and let's dig one in that grassy patch over there. Alright, we'll just be trying our luck, Qin Qingsheng said in agreement. But in his heart, he held no hope at all. The three of them worked for another long hour, digging 2 pits, each over a meter deep and half a meter wide. The three of them then returned home. Just as they entered the courtyard, Daya hurriedly came to meet them. Her expression was darker than the bottom of a wok. Eldest brother, second brother, third brother, this is terrible. The old well at the village entrance has dried up. There's no water. What? The well is dry? The original novel never mentioned this part. A person can survive for 7 days while hungry. But going 3 days without water is dangerous. 60% of the human body is water. Dehydration of just 10% can make you sick. If it reaches 20%, your life can't be saved. Uncle Lijung sent people to Majia village and Wangjia village to ask around. Let's hope it's just our village that's out of water. If we can fetch water from other villages, we might be able to get through this difficult time. Hearing this, Qin Tiance said nothing. He understood clearly in his heart. If Lija village has no water, trying to get water from another village won't be easy. Their own village probably doesn't have enough. Would they be willing to give us some? And even if they were, we'd probably have to trade grain for it. At a critical time like this, who isn't protective of their own lifeline? I'm going to the village entrance to take a look. As Qin Tiance spoke, he left the courtyard. Over here, a crowd had gathered around the old well at the village entrance. Every single person had a grim look on their face. Tiance, you're here. Is the well really out of water? It's gone. Qin Tiance stared at the bottom of the well for a long while. When he saw the water level was completely still, his heart sank. Everyone gathered around the well platform, every one of them with a miserable look on their face. Before, we were afraid of starving to death. And now look, the water is gone too. We're not just going to starve, we're going to die of thirst. Why are the heavens so cruel? They're not even leaving us a way to survive. This year's poor harvest was bad enough, and now there's no water. As they were complaining, the men who went to the neighboring villages for news returned. Everyone swarmed them at once, all starting to ask questions. Xiao Zhuang, do the wells in Majia village still have water? Fu Shun, what's the situation in Zujia village? What's all the commotion? Everyone, settle down. Village head Li roared with a dark expression, then looked at the young men. Tell us the news you've gathered, uncle. The wells in Majia village are all dry too. As soon as the young men finished speaking, someone couldn't help but cry. Village head, you have to think of a plan, quickly. If we don't have water, isn't everyone in the village going to die of thirst? That's right, hurry up and think of something. Are we supposed to pack up our families and flee the famine? Just as they were arguing, Qin Tiance suddenly spoke up. There's another way. As soon as he said that, all eyes instantly fell on him, like a drowning man grasping at straws. Hurry, tell us, what's this plan to find water? Isn't there water in the river? The river? You mean fetching water from the town? That's impossible. The town is dozens of li away from our village. Without an ox cart, a single round trip would wear a person out completely. Besides, the elderly and the children in the village could never manage. The village chief's eyes narrowed. He seemed to guess what he was thinking. Are you planning to open the reservoir gates? There's no other way right now. Even the magistrate doesn't have the final say on opening the gates. If we don't get water, in less than 10 days, every family's water vat will be bone dry. When people start dying, it'll be a huge problem. Uncle, let's team up with the other villages in Yong'an town. We'll take everyone, young and old, and go to the county seat. We'll petition the magistrate to coordinate the opening of the gates. Once the reservoir water is released, our wells will fill up again. And more importantly, the rice is at the grain filling stage right now. If we have water for irrigation, we'll get a much bigger autumn harvest. Then we can pay our grain tax. And everyone will still have enough left over for the winter. Don't you see? We solve several problems at once. The moment he said that, the villagers' eyes lit up. Village chief, TNCE is right. Contact the other villages quickly. We'll go tomorrow. Yong'an town alone won't be enough. The surrounding towns are probably suffering from the drought too. Uncle, you'll have to visit a few of them. Explain the benefits of opening the reservoir to them. The more people we have, the better. When the time comes, we'll all stand in front of the county office. The bigger our crowd, the more seriously the authorities will take us. I'll go contact the other village chiefs right now. But let me say this up front, if this plan goes ahead, every household must send one able-bodied man to go to the county seat. Just then, Lu Dongmai spoke up in a snide voice. You make it sound so simple. What if the wells do get water? And the magistrate blames our village for leading the protest? What if he raises our taxes? Yeah, what about the taxes? Everyone turned to look at Chin Tians again. What's there to be afraid of? Even if our wells fill up, we have to keep making a fuss. There was a drought last year and another one this year. If we have another bad harvest, we're all going to starve to death. The magistrate's record depends on how much tax we pay, and how much grain we contribute. The more desperate we are, the harder he has to work to find a solution for us. His words hit the nail right on the head. Village Chief Li's eyes lit up. Any last bit of hesitation he had vanished. All right then, we'll do it your way. That very day, Chief Li began contacting the other village chiefs, and Chin Tians didn't stay idle either. He secretly went to his own fields. When no one was around, Chin Tians secretly released 2 tons of water into them. His 3 mu of rice paddies grew far more lushly than anyone else's. Even the fields belonging to his neighbor, Auntie Li, benefited from it. Back home, Chin Tians found a moment to speak with Chin Daming. Big brother, aren't there still 2 wells in the village? Go check them tomorrow morning to see if there's any water. If there is. Just as he was speaking, Chin Qingsheng suddenly cut in. Third brother, we've been living in the new house for a few days now. Why hasn't landlord Lu sent anyone to inspect the house yet? Don't tell me he doesn't want our bricks anymore. Maybe he's just busy and forgot. I'll go to town tomorrow and ask about it. We need to sell this first batch of bricks quickly. Our grain supply at home is about to hit rock bottom. Only with some cash flow can I openly buy grain from the system. When Urya heard they were going to town, she scrambled up from her straw mat. Third brother, can I go with you? All right, I'll take you tomorrow. The next day, just as Chin Tians finished washing up, he heard Chin Daming's booming voice. Third brother, the well at the end of the village has water. Let's grab all our empty containers and go fetch some. We just need enough water for ourselves. A lot of families in the village don't have any water right now. That's true. Chin Daming nodded. He had calmed down. He had already fetched 2 buckets of water, which was more than enough. Urya, go to Uncle Village Chief's house. Tell him the old well at the end of the village has water. Ask him to organize everyone to go fetch some. Each family can take 1 bucket for now. After getting her instructions, Urya immediately ran out. Village Chief Li was squatting in his courtyard eating breakfast. He looked up to see Urya rush in, panting heavily. Urya, what's wrong? You ran all the way here in such a hurry. Grandpa Village Chief, the old well at the end of the village has water. But there isn't a lot. Third brother sent me to ask you to organize everyone to go get some water. Each family should take 1 bucket for now. These Chin children are really considerate. Village Chief Li praised. He didn't even bother to finish his breakfast. He turned, went inside to grab a bronze gong, and ran towards the village entrance, banging it as he went, all while shouting at the top of his lungs. By the time Urya got home, her family had entered the town, and everyone went their separate ways. Her eldest and second brothers went to buy flour and cloth, while Chin Tians took Urya to landlord Lu's residence. Chin Tians reached out and knocked twice. Soon, an old man with graying hair came to open the door. Who are you looking for? Sir, I'm from Lija village. A while ago, I spoke with Master Lu about buying bricks. It's been quite some time, so I came to ask if the offer is still valid. Could I trouble you to announce us? As he spoke, Chin Tian slipped 3 copper coins into the old man's hand. The old man squeezed the coins with his fingers, and the corners of his eyes immediately crinkled into a smile. You wait right here. The door closed and opened again just a few minutes later. Come with me. Our young miss is waiting. In the Lu residence, it's always the eldest young miss who is in charge. Buying bricks to build a house isn't a small matter of just a few taels of silver. After passing through several corridors, Chin Tians and Ya were led into the main hall. The old servant bowed to the young lady sitting in the main seat, and then excused himself. Miss Lu, please, sit. Xiao Kui, serve tea. Chin Tians sat down to one side and got straight to the point. Miss Lu, it's been quite some time since your father, Landlord Lu, said he wanted to buy our bricks. But no one has come to purchase them. Has something at your residence caused a delay? Or are there some other concerns? To be frank with you, my family has already built a 3-room house with red bricks, just as Landlord Lu requested. We've lived in them for a few days now. They're no different from the gray brick houses. It's just the color that's different. They're perfectly fine to live in. I knew about this matter, I just hadn't come by. It was because some things came up at the estate that delayed me. Your family is in urgent need of money, aren't you? Miss Lu, in this day and age, which villager isn't short on money? We're just waiting for the money from selling bricks to buy food. Lu Nianian sighed softly. After observing for a moment, she felt this family was trustworthy. She didn't beat around the bush anymore. Then I'll order 200,000 bricks for now. If it's not enough, I'll order more. Alright, red bricks are 5 for 1 wen coin. You need 200,000 red bricks. That will be 40 taels. You can pay 20 taels as a deposit first. The rest can be paid after all the bricks have been hauled away. Also, the people from your estate will have to arrange for the hauling. Our village doesn't have the tools to transport so many bricks. Once the bricks are hauled and the bill is settled, I'll also give you a batch of tiles. Alright, I'll arrange for the rest. But you have to be responsible for loading the bricks onto the cart. That's no problem for us. Miss Lu had her maid go to the accounting office to fetch 20 taels of silver. As soon as they left the Lu residence gate, Arya started counting on her fingers, muttering, 5 bricks for 1 wen coin. 200,000 bricks. That means 40,000 wen coins. She calculated seriously, then suddenly frowned. No, I calculated it wrong. This number isn't right, let me calculate it again. We earned 40 taels, that's right. After confirming the number, the little girl's eyes grew wide. She quickly grabbed Chin Tianse's sleeve and started shaking it. Third brother, did we really earn 40 taels? I've never seen so much money in my whole life. Yes, we did. Arya had never been to school, yet she was able to calculate it so clearly. It seemed his little sister had a quick mind, no worse than second brothers. At this time, Qin Daming and Qin Qingsheng had already bought what they needed and were waiting at the appointed place. Did the deal go through? It did. 200,000 bricks. We got a 20 tael deposit up front. The Lu estate will send people to haul the bricks tomorrow. The two of them looked at the money pouch in Qin Tianse's hand. They couldn't hold back the smiles spreading across their faces. Eldest brother, second brother. You two go buy a few more things. After you're done, let's meet back here. Eldest brother, buy another 10 feet of coarse cloth, and use the rest of the money for cotton. This winter, everyone in the family must get a new cotton padded coat. Qin Daming didn't object. He took the money, tucked it into his robes, and went to the cloth shop again. Second brother, take Arya to buy some hair ribbons and things like that. Also, buy some malt candy. The two little girls should have some decent trinkets. Qin Qingsheng nodded in agreement and took Arya to go shopping. Once his siblings were all busy, Qin Tians went to the west side docks by himself. There had been a severe drought these last 2 years, and the water level of the Yangtze River had dropped drastically. The east, south, and north docks had ceased operations long ago. Tians climbed up an earthen slope on the bank, staring at the exposed riverbed, lost in thought for a good while. Suddenly, his eyes lit up. He had found another way to make money. But this can only be done after the floodgates are opened and the water is released. Qin Tians now had a plan in mind. He went to the meeting spot and glanced around. Seeing no one was paying attention, he quickly placed an order in the system. All in all, he spent nearly 3 taels of silver. Before long, his big brother, second brother, and Ya all returned. Qin Qingsheng spotted the pile of things at Qin Tianse's feet. He rubbed his hands in delight. Third brother, how did you buy so much? It's a good thing I came along, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to carry it all back. All this white rice and white flour. How much must this have cost? If this were dark flour, you could have bought at least double the amount for the same money. Brother, sister-in-law is pregnant. Sanya and Daya are still growing, and you all do such hard, tiring work. How can we always eat dark flour? Isn't earning money all about letting our family eat and drink well? What's the point of earning it just to scrimp and save? Hearing this, Ya immediately came over and reached out to carry the basket of rice. I'm strong. You all keep the white flour and rice for yourselves. I'm fine with dark flour. Now, put it down. You just carry the 20 caddies of cotton and coarse cloth, and the chicken cage. Your back is already bent like a shrimp. Be careful or you won't be able to straighten up later. Ya opened her mouth to argue, but swallowed her words before they could come out. Back in the village, under the large pagoda tree at the entrance, a group of people were sitting and cooling off. Oh, did the 4 Chin siblings go to town? Look at that, with all that on your backs, you must have bought a lot of good stuff. Every one of you is red in the face and drenched in sweat. What kind of treasures did you buy to get so worn out? Quick, let us see. The gossiping villagers chimed in. Seeing them return, they all started talking at once. Some crowded around, wanting to see what they had bought. Others even reached out to help carry things, but Chin Tians politely blocked them all with a smile. A while ago, Landlord Lu ordered some bricks, and he settled the bill today. So we just bought some cotton and grain. Does anyone want to build a brick house? Come buy bricks from me. The price is negotiable. We can barely afford to eat. Who has the energy to build a house? If we built a house, I'm afraid it wouldn't be for people. How about you let my husband go to your place to help fire bricks? He doesn't need wages, just give us a few cartloads of bricks in return. Oh, stop with that nonsense. Why are you always thinking about taking advantage of others? We're just trading labor, aren't we? No wages, just bricks. No matter how you put it, they're the ones who profit. What a petty scheme. Anyone with eyes can see through it. It sounds nice, but in reality, they just want to learn the craft of brick making. That's a skilled trade. It's not something you can teach yourself. As she spoke, second Aunt Lee stood up and pulled Ya away. Lu Dongmai spat on the ground and muttered. Who are they trying to impress? Nearby, Uncle Zhang couldn't stand it anymore. He retorted, they're already being more than generous just by selling us bricks cheaply. If you're so jealous, go fire them yourself. As the villagers at the entrance were talking, the village chief hurried back in a flurry. He brought good news. Village Chief Li had already joined with other villages and towns to go to the county seat. They petitioned the county magistrate to open the sluice gates and release the water. Every household had to send people, so Chin Daming took Daya and Area to the county town. That afternoon, Chin Tians and Chin Qingsheng developed a pesticide for the locusts. Just then, Chin Daming returned with Daya and Area. Daming, you're back so soon. They agreed to release the water. They agreed, now we have to repair the canal. The village chief is asking for 2 workers from each family. I came back to get our second brother to come along. Did they say what time they'll release the water? They'll start opening the gates at 3 in the afternoon and finish up around 7 in the evening. Alright, you must be hungry. I left some food for you in the kitchen. Go wash up and eat. After saying that, Chin Tians went to get a water jug, also packing up the leftover flatbreads from the kitchen. Once everything was packed, Chin Tians looked at Daya. Daya, after you finish eating, could you please make a trip to your mother's family home? Tell them to wait by the bank of the Changjiang River in town today. Make sure you stress this. And don't tell anyone else. Only they should know about it. Why, Tians, don't our fields need to be irrigated? Why are you telling my family to go into town? You'd better explain. Once they release the water from the Changjiang River. I know what there'll be. There will be fish in the river. And clams and turtles and lots of other things. Hearing Area list all those things, everyone's eyes instantly lit up. So you're saying you want my family to go and catch fish? I wonder if any other families have realized this yet. But we need to get moving. I'll take Daya and Area into town in a bit. Sister-in-law, you stay here and cook. Third brother, if we all go fishing, is anyone going to stay and watch the fields? What if someone deliberately causes trouble and stops the water from reaching our land? Especially that Lu Dongmai, she always likes to pick a fight with you, third brother. Who knows what kind of tricks she'll pull? It's alright, don't worry. If anyone dares to stop it, I'll go to their house and dig up their fields. The brothers in our family are not to be trifled with. After Chin Tians finished his instructions, he headed next door. Tians, you're here. You have no idea. That idea of yours was brilliant. The county magistrate really agreed to release the water from the river and the reservoir. With water, we can finally have a harvest. At last, there's a glimmer of hope. It's just great that the water problem can be solved. Second aunt, I came to talk to you about something today. What is it? Once they open that gate, there's bound to be a lot of fish, clams, and things like that. There might even be better things. We're planning to go into town to catch fish. All I could think about was irrigating the fields. This never even crossed my mind. Honestly, how are you so clever? And you always think of our family when there's a good opportunity. Second aunt, don't say that, you're making us sound like strangers. You've helped our family out plenty over the years. It's just that the Changjiang River is very wide. There's bound to be a lot of fish and shrimp. We won't be able to get it all ourselves. Chin Tians noticed that Li was hesitating to speak. Chin Tians pretty much understood. Li, just say what's on your mind, it's alright. How about, why don't we ask a few families we're close with in the village to come along? Okay, I'll go get Grandpa Li, Da Niu, Da Go, and their families. You go inform the others we know well, but let me be clear up front. The fewer people who know about this, the better. Auntie Li is no fool either. She understood immediately. If word got out to all the surrounding villages, they'd be lucky to even catch a single fish. He nodded eagerly. Don't worry, I'll tell each family to keep it quiet. Okay, then let's split up and inform them. With that, Chin Tians got up and left. He walked into Grandpa Li's yard, where his eldest granddaughter, Anshin, was squatting and mending farm tools. Anshin, is your grandpa home? Uncle, come on in. Grandpa's exhausted from a rough time in the county town. He's resting inside right now. Tians, what brings you here? Grandpa, your forehead is all black and blue, how did that happen? It's nothing, just from bowing my head in the county. You came to see me for a reason. Yes, I came for a reason. And it's good news. Grandpa, want to take a guess what it is? For me, good news means having something to eat. Don't tell me you found something else to eat? Experience counts. You guessed right, hearing that he had found more food. Grandpa Li immediately stood up excitedly. Really? Where? Our Changjiang River. Hasn't it been closed off for over 10 years? There must be tons of fish and shrimp in there. So we need to go to town and wait for them to open the gates to catch them. Hearing this, Grandpa Li's expression flickered between disappointment and joy. They wanted to go too, but the fields still needed to be irrigated. If they didn't go, they would miss out on all the fish and shrimp in the river. Don't you worry about irrigating the paddies. Everyone in the village knows your family's situation. No one will cut off your water supply. If you're still worried, I'll have my older brother keep an eye on your fields for you. Thank you so much. If you hadn't taken us to harvest water chestnuts before, the three of us would have starved to death by now. We just finished the last of the water chestnuts a couple of days ago, and now you bring this good news. Thank you so much. Standing beside him, Angson's eyes reddened as she listened. Grandpa, you're being too formal. We're all from the same village. We should help each other. Time is short, so I can't stay along. I still have to go inform the others. In a little while, you and Anshin can gather up the tools you'll need for fishing. We'll meet up at the village entrance later. As Chin Tians finished speaking and was about to turn, he remembered something. Oh, right, don't tell anyone from other villages about this. Grandpa Li nodded repeatedly. About an hour later, the villagers who had been notified all gathered with their tools and came to the village entrance to meet. Chin Tians scanned the crowd, and his eyes immediately landed on Lu Dongmai standing in the middle of them. Uncles, everyone, don't you go leaking this to your relatives, especially Wang Kei's wife. You didn't secretly tip them off, did you? After all, this woman is a real troublemaker. I can't rest easy without giving you a little warning. For the sake of catching fish. For once, Lu Dongmai didn't talk back. Cut the crap, I know what's at stake. Alright, it's getting late. Then let's get going. By the time Chin Tians and his group rushed to the town, it was about 3:15 in the afternoon. The reservoir sluice gates had already been open for a quarter of an hour. Quick, look, I see fish jumping over there. Whoa, a river clam. That's a huge river clam. And there are river snails, too. This is all good stuff. Holy cow, look what I just saw. How is this shrimp bigger than my hand? The water's receding so fast. You could clearly see the riverbed was still covered in mud. A lot of the fish and shrimp didn't have time to swim away. They're all flopping around in the mud. Everyone, spread out and catch some fish. Everyone, watch your kids. Don't let them go into the deep water area. You have to be careful. Everyone shouted in agreement. They started to go down to the riverbed to catch fish. Just as Chin Tian stepped into the mud, the system notifications in his mind went off like firecrackers. Detected. 1.5 Jin wild river clam, value, 45 copper coins. Detected. Wild river snails, value, 5 copper coins per Jin. Detected. Wild spike fish, value, 60 copper coins per Jin. Hearing this sound made Chin Tianse's heart swell with joy. Third brother, there are so many river snails here. I've already filled almost half my basket. Are you silly, sis? Catching river snails is a lot of work for not much meat. You should get more clams. You can get a whole big bowl from just one of those things. You can eat them all. They just have different ways of being cooked. Just grab everything first, Chin Tian said when he heard them. He didn't even look up, his hands never stopping for a moment. He tossed the clams, snails, and everything else into his wicker basket. While everyone else was focused on gathering their own things, he transferred some of it into his system. In just that short time, he had already sold almost 100 coins worth. Third brother, what are you digging for in the mud? Looking for treasure? Without looking up, Chin Tians casually tossed a half-Jin carp into his bamboo basket. Don't just pick up the small ones. Take a look in the cracks between the rocks. You might find a surprise. Da Ya replied. She quickly ran to the side to catch fish. I'll find the big fish in the cracks between the rocks. And sure enough, she found many big fish in the cracks. Time passed quickly. As dusk fell, the river's sluice gates closed, and everyone started heading back to the bank. Every family had a bountiful harvest, and none of them could stop smiling. Especially the Chin family's third son, Da Ya. We're here. Goodness, you caught so much. Our village hasn't had a harvest this big in years. We have to add a couple of extra dishes to dinner tonight. We'll have to split this all up to carry it back. Big brother, you're the strongest. You carry the 2 buckets of big fish. Third brother and I will each carry a bucket of snails and clams. Da Ya, you don't need to carry anything, just rest. After Chin Qingsheng finished assigning the tasks, Chin Daming finally snapped out of his shock. You couldn't blame him for being shocked. Alright, give me the heavy ones. I've got this. After they got home, the eldest brother pulled Chin Tians aside privately. He was stammering, as if he had something difficult to say. Brother, if you have something to say, just say it. We're brothers. There's no need to be so hesitant. Well, I was thinking, after the autumn harvest, I'd use your sister-in-law's pregnancy as an excuse. To invite her mother and sister to come stay with us for a while. I know this isn't a good time to bring this up, but your sister-in-law's belly is getting bigger every day, and a clumsy guy like me is no help. She'll need someone to help out when she gives birth and during her recovery. If I'm busy taking care of her, the housework will never get done. I don't want to be a burden on you all. In the original story, Mother Wong went up the mountain to find firewood. She fell into a hunter's trap, and with the heavy snow blocking the mountain, no one could find her. She froze to death in there. Wang Xiangling's sister was at home with no fire to keep warm. And she also froze to death. The mother and daughter were gone just like that. Thinking of this, Chin Tians nodded. Alright, when my sister-in-law gives birth, her mother can be here to help with the baby. But let's be clear up front. We don't have a lot of space in the house. If they move in, they'll have to pitch in and help. They can't just expect to be waited on. They're both hardworking. They can help with the stove and feeding the chickens. And my sister-in-law's sister, even though she's only 13, can cut pig feed and wash diapers. If my wife knew we could bring her family here, she would be absolutely thrilled. After she married me, it was just her elderly mother and younger sister left, relying on each other. Without any help, their lives are sure to be very difficult from now on. Dinner tonight was quite a feast. Not only were there big, white steamed buns, but also a lavish spread of fish and meat. As the whole family was eating heartily, Chin Tians changed the subject. By the way, eldest brother, second brother, I think it's time we put building the new house on the agenda. What do you think? We have enough bricks. But we haven't cut nearly enough timber for the beams. It's definitely not enough. Besides, we haven't even really discussed the layout of the house. Shouldn't we wait? We can't wait any longer. It's the end of July. If we get a few dozen villagers to help, we can get it built in less than a month. We have money on hand from selling the bricks, so we can pay for the labor. If we wait until September, everyone will be busy with the harvest. We'd have to wait until the end of September. The weather will be getting cold by then, which will make it difficult to lay bricks and mix mortar. Let's build the house like this. We'll enclose the front yard with an earthen wall. We'll build 2 side rooms on the left and right, with a covered walkway connecting them to the main hall. Inside the main hall, we'll partition off 4 more rooms. That'll be enough space for everyone. If there's any spare land, we can even start a small vegetable garden. That's a solid layout, but what about the timber? The back mountain is famous for its pine forest. I'll take a few men and go cut some. We have to get the house frame up before it gets cold, to make sure we can move in before winter. Ya was listening, captivated. She looked up at Chin Tians. Her eyes filled with hope. Will my sister and I get to have our own room? Of course, you'll each get your own. That's wonderful, we're finally going to have our own rooms. Third brother, you've really thought this through. Let's do it your way. Since we're all in agreement, eldest brother, after dinner you'll come with me to the village head's house. We'll tell him we're building a house and ask him to help gather the villagers. After dinner, the Chin brothers went to the village head's house. The Chin brothers, what brings you to my home? We've come today to trouble you with 2 matters. Hearing that Chin Tians had something to discuss, the village chief's expression immediately turned serious. What is it? I was in the mountains earlier, fiddling with some herbs. And I actually found a way to deal with the locusts. It's this bitter. Trees, leaves and fruit. You crush them, mix them with water, and sprinkle it on the crops. The locusts will avoid the smell, and if they eat it, they're sure to die. And it's harmless to people and livestock. I know this plant. The back mountain is covered with them. The fruit is so bitter it could make your mouth pucker. I had no idea it could repel insects. In previous years, I've seen people cut them down to use as firewood. I never would have thought it'd work like that. Tians, you said before that the locust plague was caused by a severe drought. But now, the canals and the fields are full of water. How can you say it's dry? That old saying, extreme drought brings locusts, doesn't seem to apply anymore. I'm sure we won't have that plague this year. Still, for you to come up with this insect repellent, that must have taken a lot of effort. I just hope things go smoothly for our village from now on. And we won't have to use it, now that the sluice gates are open. The canals are flowing, and the fields are well watered. Maybe we'll really be able to avoid this disaster. Uncle, you've got a point. But there will always be little bugs, grasshoppers, and whatnot in the fields. Catching them by hand is too much trouble. You should mention this bitter water method to the villagers. It could save them a lot of work. Just consider it preparing in advance. Better to be prepared, when everyone comes back for lunch. I'll go announce it under the big scholar tree at the village entrance. Thanks for the trouble, Uncle. I also have a second matter. I'd like to take advantage of the current break in the farming season. I want to renovate my house. Could I trouble you, Uncle, to help gather some workers? There are 2 ways to pay for the labor. The first option is 10 wen coins per day. Meals aren't included. The second option is to not take money, but to be paid in bricks instead. Usually, bricks are priced at 6 for 1 wen coin. But for those who come to help, a day's work will be worth 100 bricks. What do you think of that arrangement? That's a great idea. Families who are thinking of building a new house will definitely be willing to work for bricks. After working for half a month, they could save up enough material for 1 room. Add a little money to that, and they'll have a big brick house with 4 or 5 rooms. I'll go door to door this afternoon to inform everyone. I'll bring the men to your house tomorrow morning to start. You should hurry and pack your things when you get back. We'll start tearing down the old house tomorrow. In fact, the village chief had a clever little plan of his own. If his 4 sons went to help, wouldn't they be able to save a lot of money when it was their turn to build a new house? If you have nowhere to live during the demolition, just say the word. You brothers can squeeze in with my son Tai Zhu and his brothers. It'll be lively, thank you. If we do end up needing a place, we'll really have to trouble you. For the next hour or so, the 3 of them discussed the details of the construction. After they had settled everything, Chin Tians and Chin Daming headed home. When they reached Li Er's front door, Chin Tians seemed to remember something. Big brother, you go on ahead. I need to go to Li Er's house about something. I'll ask if Daya and Arya can stay there for a few days. When he got to Auntie Li Er's house, she happily agreed. The next day, just as dawn was breaking, Village Chief Lee arrived with a group of villagers. "Tians, have you gotten all your things packed up and ready?" "Uncle, everyone, which payment method did you choose? There are over 100 households in our village, aside from the widowed and elderly who don't have able-bodied workers." "Almost everyone came, I just did a count. There are 178 people. 70% of them chose to take bricks as payment. The rest want cash. Don't you worry, I've recorded every family's work points. Once the house is built, the cash payments will be settled. For those taking bricks, I'll ask everyone later. Should they take them all at once after it's built, or store them at your place for now?" Old Man Wang's second son even said that after working for 20 days, he can get 2,000 bricks. With a little more money, he can build the east wing of his house. "I'll leave it all to you, uncle. I'm completely at ease. When you're in charge," village head Lee nodded. Then, he stood in the middle of the courtyard and shouted at the top of his lungs. "With so many of us, let's try to get the Chin family's house built in half a month." Everyone cheered in agreement and started working. The days flew by, and in the blink of an eye, it was early August. The Chin family's new house was almost finished. Another 3 or 4 days of work and it would be completely done. "Uncle, that method of using bitter leaves as an insecticide that I mentioned before. Did you tell the villagers about it? The locust plague in the book. The more I think about it, the more I feel we can't avoid this disaster. It might even come early. I already told them, and you know what? That stuff really works." The old Lee family sprinkled the neem water one day, and the next day their fields were littered with dead insects. They picked them up to feed the chickens, and the chickens and ducks were so happy they were flapping their wings. In the past, when the rice was filling out, which family didn't have everyone, young and old, squatting in the fields catching bugs? It's much better now. With the time we save, we can tend to 2 more acres of land. As long as it works, that's great, uncle. Have you mentioned this method to the next village over? If the locust plague spreads to the neighboring villages, our village won't be able to stay safe on its own. The other day, I was having drinks with the heads of a few surrounding villages. I mentioned it casually, but I don't know if they took it to heart. Why are you still hung up on that old wives' tale about drought and locusts?" Chin Tians didn't answer. Instead, a series of questions came flying at him like raindrops. "Uncle, how many days has it been since the Yangtze River sluice gates were opened? How has the weather been lately? How much water is left in the canals, rivers, and paddy fields?" Hearing these questions, village head Lee's hand froze. The smile on his face stiffened. It had been a while since the Yangtze River gates were opened. During this time, the sun had been getting more and more vicious. You couldn't even see a single cloud in the sky. "Uncle, the fact that bitter tree branches can prevent insects. We have to make sure everyone knows. If a plague really breaks out, this year's harvest will be completely ruined. All our efforts in asking the county magistrate to open the sluice gates will have been for nothing. All right, I'll tell them when we finish work. Then I'll send a few people to the neighboring villages. We'll go door to door to remind them. Oh, dear heavens, please send some rain soon. Don't torture us anymore." Chin Tians pressed his lips together and said nothing. Praying to the heavens was useless now. When everyone was finishing up for the day, village head Lee immediately strode forward and shouted, "Folks, hold on a moment. It's been a while since the Yangtze River released its water. But not a single drop of rain had fallen all day, and the water in the canals and fields was visibly about to dry up. The land was parched and dry. It's easy for pests to appear. Before the crops are harvested, we must persist in using bitter water for pest control." Suddenly, someone in the crowd muttered, "Uncle, you keep reminding us over and over. Are you worried about a locust plague?" Village Chief Lee saw everyone's faces turn pale and waved his hand, forcing himself to look calm. "Don't let your imaginations run wild. I'm just being naggy. Hurry home and rest. Get back to whatever you were doing." Village Chief Lee said that, but he couldn't help but feel a chill inside. As he turned to walk home, he secretly glanced at the horizon. There wasn't even a cloud in the sky. We're not really going to have a disaster, are we? But it seemed like the heavens just loved to mess with people. 3 days later, just as the new house was finished and everyone was packing up their tools to go home, someone suddenly exclaimed, "The sky, why did it suddenly get so dark? Look at the sky, oh my goodness, what is that? It's locusts, so many locusts, the locust plague is here. What do we do?" Chin Tians, of course, saw it too. He stood in the middle of the courtyard and shouted at the top of his lungs, "Everyone, don't panic. We have a way to deal with the locusts." Quickly, Go get the bitter water from your homes. Splash it on the fields. The locusts are afraid of this. As long as we have the bitter water, the crops can be saved." After speaking, Chin Tians turned his head again, looking at Sixth Uncle, who was frozen in shock. He shouted loudly, "Sixth Uncle, quickly take a few nimble people and build more bonfires in the square. Locusts are drawn to bright places. Lure them all over to the square." Chin Tians looked at the dark, oppressive sky.